So hey, I'm Christian Lee, here for AMG, and we are here with. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'm David.
And I am Matthew.
And together, the two of you make
Missio.
Awesome. So how you guys doing today?
Good, man. Enjoying being in California. Beautiful San Diego.
Yeah.
Because you guys live in Texas, correct?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Every time we come to San Diego, I always say this is like the one city in California I think I would actually live in.
Yeah.
I can't do LA, but I think San Diego's pretty awesome.
I agree. There's something about San Diego with the weather. There's like a lot of charm to it.
Well, I even looked at Zillow home prices today in San Diego. It's just as bad as LA.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a little cheaper, but
wish.
it was literally the exact same. So I won't be to.
That was a big letdown.
Yeah.
We're ready.
Okay, so my first question for you guys is, was there a song or an album when you were younger that made you want to, make music? That influenced you in any way?
I'll answer the question, I guess, in a way that makes the most sense to me. Like, there was definitely a point in my life that, because I didn't grow up in a music family. I didn't really grow up in an artistic family even. So, like, there was just this point where I was in like 6th or 7th grade where I started like on my own discovering art and music, and I started reading about all these bands, and then I found like a $30 pawn shop guitar that I taught myself how to play guitar on, and like I just remember the whole, like, it was like this other planet of stuff opened up for me, because all I'd grown up listening or just doing sports and music was just in the background, and then I just kind of fell in, and really buying my first guitar on a whim was what changed the game for me. I just started practicing every day and got addicted to it.
Awesome.
So no one specifics.
There's a song by Sigur Rós called Segapler, and I remember playing that song like 150 times, and that kind of got me into cinematic music a little bit. Sufjan Stevens and Death Cab for Cutie were probably two of my biggest inspirations. Those three bands.
Awesome.
My top three.
Okay, and so I think I read somewhere, is it true that for your first your first gig ever as Missio, you guys performed at South by Southwest?
Yes,
that is true.
Correct.
And so, what was that like? Because that must be kind of nerve-wracking. Like, your first ever time performing is somewhere that big.
I was nervous as shit. Also because I guess at the time the music we were playing was still kind of how Missio started. It was kind of down tempo, chill wave type stuff. But I just remember it had probably been maybe a year and a half since I had played my last show, and so I was very nervous.
Yeah, I mean that was right after we finished the first EP, and we were still kind of figuring out what our even relationship was, because when Missio first started, they were mostly Matthew's songs, and then I would produce them and they would change, and we'd make them that way, and then that first EP came out, and then Matthew, we ended up becoming roommates, and the stuff started out, and we started just figuring out how to play live. So the first live show was a lot, and I've had a ton of experience playing live. It was like the polar opposite of him. So I was like, he kind of asked me, like, what do I do here to do this? How am I going to play live? And we kind of figured it out together and came up with it. And it was definitely a lot of thinking through stuff, because two people playing music it was just the two of us at that time.
Well, and the sound guy at the time was an absolute moron, and so one of our first shows was horrible. I mean, it was, oh god.
Long road. Yeah, long road to figuring it out.
I wish I had his name, because I'd call him out.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you guys performed South by Southwest, but I think one of like the biggest gigs for you guys opened up for Muse and 30 Seconds of Mars. So what was that like? Those are two huge bands. How'd you guys get that?
I don't know. It was obviously through our booking agents that got that.
It's crazy.
It's kind of weird because we were playing pavilions, and so pavilions is a whole different vibe from a big indoor venue or arena.
Okay,
the energy is just different. It feels a lot like families are coming and they have picnics on the grass. And when we play First of Three, it's still in the daylight. So I think we played at 7, maybe even earlier than that. So it was weird because you're playing in the daylight and you're playing for families who are literally like having picnics. So I don't think it really clicked in until we walked out and saw Muse playing late at night, where it was like, oh shit, like we're playing. We opened up for Muse. That's crazy. It was just a weird. It was a different vibe than I expected it to be, but it was definitely crossed off on my bucket list for sure.
Yeah. Mm. Oh, I like your shoe, by the way.
Oh,
Nice.
thanks, man.
All right, and well, I have a personal question for you. Might as well,
Sure.
since we're at it. So, Dave, okay, so I'm gonna name some stuff, and you just tell me what they are, okay? So, the R Supernova, Sweet 709,
Whoa.
Smile and Nod.
Whoa! Dang, dude, no one's ever asked me about any of that.
And what are they, though?
Those are my previous bands.
And so, have you done anything from learned anything from those old bands incorporated into Missio?
I'm just trying to process this question. You did some research, my friend. I'm proud of you, man. That's pretty awesome, man. No, so I have a long, crazy story of never really following the rules or doing anything right, and I say it's for better or worse, but it's probably usually been for worse in my career. I always do whatever the heck I want to do, and this thing that Matthew and I kind of figured out, we're just kind of two people collectively giving in the middle finger to the music business and doing whatever we want to do, and
You
we
guys
just
even
have
have a song with it, too.
Yeah, man, and it just it's a little bit of completing the puzzle, because we tried it, and we both tried it for a while doing our thing, and nothing ever really worked out exactly the way we wanted it to. But every single band, every single person I played with, I've just taken so much from them, I'm like a thief. Not really, but I remember the first band I ever played in, I didn't even know how to play guitar, and then all of a sudden I recruited a lead guitar player, and I was like, all right, and I started you're around people that are constantly better than you, you just get better. And so that's kind of what my whole story is just try to surround myself with people that I respect musically, and all those bands I love and have had so many good times with, and taken so many lessons from them, and here we are, and we're just a product of all of those experiences, and all those mistakes, all those things that I've made, I've learned from them, and all the good things I've learned from them, and that's part of who Missio is in a way,
And I think, actually, Sweet 709, it morphed into a band, and then I think that band broke up, and then Missio took the spot, right?
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
crazy. Okay, and I have one last question for you. So you're married, correct?
Yes.
How long have you been married?
Coming up on 5 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Been with her almost 9. Almost
Dang,
9 years.
9
Yeah.
years? Wow. And so, is it true that you guys met on New Year's Eve?
Very true, man.
Can you tell me the story behind that? Because that's a pretty crazy story.
Yeah. So we were both kind of in, outside of just looking, or being single, we were both just at a pretty big crossroads in our lives, trying to figure out what we were about. I was in the process of trying to become a full-time musician, quit my job, all that fun stuff, and she had just moved to Austin, and neither of us had any fun plans. We were both just kind of loner losers that night, and we kind of found a semi-mutual friend that was having a party out there, and it no crazy fireworks or anything that night, but I just knew she was pretty special, and I hit her up after that, and I rolled out the red carpet. I took her on a pretty bomb first date, convinced her to hang around with me a little bit, and
He did the same for me too. It's pretty.
He's a charmer.
Yeah.
He's a charmer.
Yeah.
Charmed him, man.
Alright, then I might as well just ask one for you real quick, and then we'll do the last question. Okay, and so here, gestures and start of something new. You remember any of the? Does that ring a bell to you?
Gestures does not. I don't know what that is. Start of Something New was my first horrendous record that I ever.
believe Gestures was also maybe
Gestures.
another album you might have made too. Maybe even
Um,
earlier than that. But yeah, so how has your music evolved from your horrendous records back then to now?
Well, actually,
Because I assume your songwriting has gotten much
I'll
better.
give a caveat. The first record was great for being a first record, but as I look back on it now, it was pretty terrible. As far as songwriting goes, I've definitely grown a lot just from working with guys like David and our producer Dwight, and also at the time, I hadn't really practiced working on being a songwriter.
Mhm.
Those were just random things that I was doing. Threw them out there and then called it a day. Since then, I've started to implement different disciplines into my routine of making myself sit down and write, listening to other songs and listening to what people are doing, and so it's been cool to watch the process. And I don't even know when that was, 6 years plus. Yeah, and seeing the difference between being an 18-year-old to being now almost 26. And again, what he was saying earlier, it's surrounding yourself with people who make you a better person and a better songwriter and a better musician and whatever else you want to be. So it's been really cool to. I totally forgot about that record, so you just brought up some weird memories. I feel weird.
Okay, and you know,
You melted our minds a little.
I still don't know what Gestures is. I'm trying to think. I don't know.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Okay, and so you know we're running short of time, so just one quick question to wrap everything up. What can we expect from Missio for the rest of 2018?
Oof. Heat, man.
New-
Bringing the heat.
New music, more shows, more personality, more attitude, more fuck the system.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so where can we find you guys on social media, and where can we find you guys, where you can find your music?
Yeah, we're Missio Music is like Instagram.
Just
Facebook,
do
all that.
missiomusic.com.
Yeah.
It's got all the links.
All that fun stuff. Let's be honest, if you can't Google Missio, then we need to talk.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking time for doing it, you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Yeah.